Neck-throughs, guitars, they're like a guy that you won't have a beer with you.
I want to hear what's pushing the notes.
Freddie King and B.B. King, Albert King, and let's not forget Burger King.
I don't want to blow my knuckle out.
Stainless steel is the work of the devil.
These go to 11.
From the East Amplification Tone Labs in Baltimore, Maryland, it's the Amps and Axes Show with your hosts, Jeff the Godfather of Low Wattage Amps Bober and Mick Marcelino.
Well, good day to you, Mr. Bober.
Good day to you, Mr. Marcelino. How are you?
Yeah, we're doing great, man. And I tell you what, the fans, they're definitely coming through. You guys are spreading the word.
That's right. And thank you, because we couldn't do it without you, man.
That's
we couldn't
right.
do it without you.
And make sure that you tell everybody you heard it here first.
All right. So, and we're going to take a pause for the cause. And when we come back, we will have Mr. Heber Pampillon.
Hey, this is Tanya O'Callaghan coming to you from LA via Ireland, and you are listening to Amps and Axes.
Okay, and we are back as promised with our guest of the week, Kickin guitarist for Kickin Valentina, Mr. Heber Pampillon. Heber, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Very good, man. Thanks for taking the time from your obviously busy day.
Yes, man. It's nothing like hitting a few golf balls over here. So, yeah.
I got
That's
a question,
awesome.
though. I got to ask. What did they say when you and Chris Green came in with the hair and everything? Like, what are you guys doing here?
Yeah, they saw, the first thing that some of the old guys were like, you guys in the band? And we're like, no, we're accountants.
Why not?
But we play golf all the time. So it's just, it's great. Yeah. I don't know if you guys ever played with it, but it's pretty cool. You know, what else can, you can hit a ball, take some stress out, have a few drinks on the golf course, you can't beat,
I tried it one time, and we went to the range. It was an old band of mine, and we went to the range, and after I broke the head off of the driver, I said, I don't know. I don't think this is for me.
I've never done it. I mean, it sounds like the ultimate life, but I've never tried it, hitting the ball around and having some beers. I have had the beers, though, so
yes,
I'm halfway there.
That's the cool part. Just waiting for the cart girl to roll around so I can get my Jack and Coke.
There you
Jack
go.
and Coke man myself. So.
Oh, for sure. Well, nothing wrong with some good whiskey or good bourbon or good any liquor.
Right, absolutely.
I'm down with it all. Good tequila. Awesome. So, Heber, we're gonna do what I like to do with all the guests. We're gonna take a trip in the Wayback Machine and find out where Mr. Heber Pampillon came from and how you got into this way cool music industry, man. So give us some history.
All right. Hold on a second, because this is my shot.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
We're going to listen live.
Too funny.
Let's see here.
He's on the green. There you go.
Oh, look at that.
And I'm on the green. Look at that. By the flag, bitches. You got first round on you. So, where did I come from? I came out of nowhere. Well, I was born in South America, in Uruguay. And that's where I came from.
Okay.
So, yeah. And, playing in bands all my life. Took a break for a while once the music scene started changing, and got back into it, the past few years, and put together Kickin Valentina, and and here we are.
I want to backtrack a little bit. When you were born and being raised, what kind of triggered your interest in music? Was anyone in your family musical, or was there something that really struck you as far as, I love music, I want to do that?
Yeah, my grandfather, which actually I never got to meet on my mom's side. He was a band leader, played piano, and my aunt was a concert pianist, and my mom played a little bit of piano. So that's kind of, I guess, where some of my musical influence came from. But I didn't really start getting into music till I was really, really here in the United States. And I was 8 years old. And just, the first time I saw Kiss, I was like, man, I saw women throwing panties at Paul Stanley, and I said, shit, that's what I want to do. not throw panties at Paul Stanley, but,
Not that you needed to clarify that, but just, so you did.
Oh,
that's fine.
Just in case. Just in
case. That's funny. And, see, you fall on what we found to be two different times in history that really propelled people into music. The first one was, of course, the Beatles. Yep. And the next period that came along was driven by Kiss. And you're just another one that validates that from what we found over the years. That's crazy. That's awesome. So when did you start on guitar, or did you start on some other instrument, drums or bass or something? And how did that come about?
Actually, I started on drums. I think everybody starts on drums for some reason.
Yeah.
Then I switched over to guitar, and that's really what I wanted to do. So.
Yeah. Guitar, drums are like instant music. You don't have to. You just have to hold two wooden sticks and hit this thing in the center
and start beating on things.
Yeah.
For me, it was kitchen chairs.
Exactly. That was just kind of your first. Your first taste of it is just.
But it's a great thing to start on, because that if you build that rhythm.
Yeah,
that makes you. It seems to always make you a better guitar player, a better any kind of player, really, because of course rhythm is what drives this whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you?
I don't like to admit it, to drummers.
That's funny, man. Did you actually have a full kit and played for a while, and then just kind of went over to?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. I had it wasn't for too long, but and then once I switched over to guitar, that's when it was on for me,
Yeah.
That's very cool.
What was your first guitar? Do you remember?
My first guitar was like, it came from McCrory's. It was like a 5 and dime. It was a Harmony.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was my first guitar, a Harmony. It wouldn't stay in tune for shit, but when I first started, I couldn't tune it either, so it didn't matter. I still have a hard time with it.
and it was a piece of crap Harmony that wouldn't stay in tune, and yet now it's probably a vintage piece.
Absolutely. Yeah, I wish I would have kept it.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, all the guitars we dismissed back in the day. It's like, oh, well, they're vintage now, and people pay a lot of money for them, and for no good reason,
Yeah. And then and then my second guitar was it was a Les Paul copy, and I felt with that type of body ever since. It was just, and that's all I play now.
Yeah.
Gibson Les.
That was one of my first too. It was you probably Univox, I think. It was a Univox copy of a Les Paul.
Univox. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You ever had one of those, Chris? A Univox? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
he's at a Univox.
And that's Chris Green. He was on our show some episodes back. Great guy. Plays for Taiketo.
Yeah.
And now he's in the foursome on the golf course.
That's right. Yeah. Now, Chris is a monster guitar player. Shitty golfer, but a monster guitar player.
Well, we all got to be good at something, right? What was your first amp that went with that Harmony? Or did you even have an amp at that point? Was it an electric Harmony?
Gorilla amp. You guys remember the Gorilla amps?
Oh,
absolutely.
Hell yeah, man.
Yes, a Gorilla amp.
My friend had one. It was a 112, and I think they rated it like 110 watts. That thing was the loudest thing I think I've ever heard out of a transistor amp at that size. It literally vibrated itself almost apart. And I couldn't believe it. And I had at that time I had a half stack. What was it? It was a rack mount thing. I forget what it was, but that thing would actually like stay beside it a little bit.
Wow!
And now it didn't sound that great, because it was all transistor. But I was impressed by the amount of volume that those amps actually put out.
Yeah, no, they were great. Then I remember getting a little pig hog type of
pig nose.
The pig nose. That's right, the little pig nose. Pig hog. That's the cable company. Never mind. Pig nose. We did. In the school where I was taking lessons, we had something called a guitarchestra, and we would do like when they would do like outdoor type of marching and little things like that, like festivals and things like that. We would just walk around. Everybody had the little pig nose and just played all songs. It was great. It was a great time, man. 10, 11, 12 years old. I mean, that was just awesome.
You just throw some batteries in the pig nose and
You know what I did with mine?
Get your buzz and play guitar.
Here's what I did with mine. I used to throw a distortion plus in front of it, which would push. It would actually save the batteries, right? Because it would push further harder down. And you had, cool distortion. Then you get a friend who would open it and close it real fast, and you had wah-wah.
Right. Wow. Nice. Like the old way, you used to slice the speakers to get an extra distortion.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's too funny, man. That's too funny. So what was your go ahead. What was your first band? Like you actually got together with a group of guys and started making some good noise.
I would say, God, jeez. Hell, I think I'm still trying to find some good noise.
Come on now.
Damn, my first band. God, that's going back. It was just some neighborhood kids. I don't even think we had a name. It was one of those where we all hung together and it was just like, okay, you're going to be the singer. You're going to be the bass player. I play a little guitar. I'll show you what I can do on the drums. You do that. It was one of those things. And then we started making noise and trying little Black Sabbath songs and things like that, we sounded like shit.
Well, we all start like that.
Oh, yeah. It's horrible. But then I would say one of my first serious bands, it was a band called Ransom, where we got to play a lot and, did some tours and did, play with a lot of national acts and things like that.
Where was it? Where were you based at that point?
In New Jersey.
Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where I grew up.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff's a Jersey guy?
Yeah, for sure. Right. Was that the first place you had moved when you came to this country?
Yes. Let me get this drive down the middle of the fairway and hold on a second.
Go for it.
This is the greatest podcast ever.
Oh man, you can hear the clubs and the balls in the background. It's great. It's great.
Oh, and yes, you fucked it there, Heber. You fucked it there. Hey, I just longest drive.
Went to the right.
That's me on the point for the longest drive there.
Yeah, he got me on the drive. See, that's because I say he's a shitty golfer. Now he fucking.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So in Jersey, huh?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
So it's been pretty much Marshalls and Les Pauls your whole professional career, right?
Exactly. Yes.
And I guess that would be the Ace Frehley influence there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was just Les Pauls and Marshalls. I mean, to me, it was, and I had my moments where I tried having all these racks, and it was like half a refrigerator, and the thing with all that, it was always the all right, well, what sound are you trying to get out of it? Well, let's try to get close to a Marshall sound with a Les Paul. Then finally figure it out. Hey, how about if you just plug in straight?
It seems to work the best.
Yeah, it's funny because that was Zakk Wylde's approach years ago when he first joined Ozzy. He used to use all the Jackson preamps, and I don't even know what he used for power amps or anything. And he just could not get it dialed in. So he went back to one of his old 800s, and he said, that's it. And then he said they took the tour bus and ran over the rack.
Wow.
Because he wanted to make sure he'd never use it again, so they destroyed it out in a parking lot somewhere. And that has been it since then. And it is true, though. If you're trying to get that plug straight in sound, why in the world would you go through miles of circuit boards?
And cables. And just plug into the damn amp.
Yeah.
So, Heber, when did you get the first? Was your first Les Paul a custom, or when did you get the first real Les Paul, and what was it?
Yes, my first Les Paul was a custom. Yeah, it's a silver burst custom.
Wow.
That I was so excited. I paid almost nothing for it.
Oh.
You know, my story. Yeah, my story was I was working in a music store. And this lady came into the store with like 4 or 5 guitars. And she's like, my husband died. And I have all these guitars that I found in the attic. And I don't know what to do with them. So she goes, I'm just going to give them away or try to sell them. And I said, so I opened up the one case that said Gibson on it. And this thing just came out of nowhere. I opened up. It's just kind of like, one of those. And I had to say, I got a boner when I saw it, And I was like, well, how much do you want for it? And she's like, oh, I don't know, 400, 450. Before she finished the sentence, I was digging in my pockets for change for everything.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Yeah, and it's funny that it was a silver burst too,
Yes, it was a silver burst. Yeah.
Now,
wow.
What year would that have been? Around when that would have been?
That was, my God, 1980. I'm thinking it was like 1984, 85.
Wow. And that was the time, if you were going to get a Gibson, even though you got a Holy Grail thing going on there, you had a unicorn walk in, but if you were going to get a Gibson, that was the time to do it, because they were, you couldn't give them away. Kramer and not so much Ibanez, but the BC Rich stuff and the Jackson and the Charvel stuff, that was just killing it at that time. And Gibson was, they were just literally hanging by a thread. And it was tough times for Gibson at that point, and so you got a hell of a deal. Something that would have sold for $4,500 now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you still have it?
Oh, absolutely. I still have it. I still have that one. And I went the route of, I had a Kramer, and I still have a Jackson Soloist, Who doesn't? Exactly. Who doesn't?
Right.
And I remember my Kramer is a good story on a Kramer. We were playing this place in New Jersey called the Dirt Club. It was funny. The Dirt Club had a really tiny stage, and it had a pole in the middle of the stage. And,
of course it did.
Me thinking I was cool as shit. I flip it over my shoulder, and it freaking hits the pole. That was the nastiest, gnarliest sound. It cracked the freaking neck in 3 pieces.
Oh.
It was horrible. Yeah. And
you go out of tune quick on that, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was no tuning that bitch after that.
Wow. Was that the Silver Burst?
No. That was a Kramer that I had.
Oh, that was the Kramer you said.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's funny is there's a lot of you never hear about that with a Les Paul. You flip that around your neck. You're either you either got a chain for a strap, or you're built like Lou Ferrigno. Because you can't do it.
Yeah, you're not flipping a Les Paul over you need to tie yourself down.
Especially the ones that weigh 13 pounds,
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
My God. So when did I guess there must have been a couple of other bands between that and Kickin Valentina.
Yeah, I played in a band called Tongue and Groove. I played in bands called a band called Black Knight. Played in a band called I'm trying to remember all the bands. There was just so many that some of them I really like to forget.
Now, was this all still in Jersey?
Yes, it was throughout New Jersey, Pennsylvania, the tri-state area.
Okay,
gotcha. And all straight ahead kind of rock and roll bands.
Yes, yeah, all original.
Yeah.
I did play in a Kiss tribute band called Black Diamond at one point when I was younger. That was fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
And are you still in Jersey, or have you?
No. I live in Atlanta now. The band is based out of Atlanta. Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah, and we're all from different places. Chris, the bass player, is from North Carolina. Joe, the singer, is from Virginia originally, and Jimmy's from the Chicago area.
Very nice. Little
and did you all wind up in Atlanta, or just after the band got put together, you wound up there?
We all, we all moved here on different times,
mm-hmm.
And we just kind of fell that way. It just we found each other here.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I imagine you're at some course in the Atlanta suburbs somewhere.
Yes.
Right
mm-hmm.
now.
They got some nice golf courses down there.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Cool. Now, question is so you probably do mini tours, right? Like most bands do. Yeah. And now, do you run a pedal board in case you have one of those nights where they don't have the Marshall behind you, or how does that work?
Well, a lot of times we have our own back line. We bring our we travel with our stuff in the United States. When we do in Europe. Yeah, I bring some pedals with us because we're using whatever the place provides. They usually try to get us what we normally play, mm-hmm. but sometimes that's not possible,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, what's your Marshall of preference today?
Oh, the Jubilee.
Ah.
That's what I play. Marshall Jubilees, man.
Nice.
The 50s or the 100s?
It's the 100.
Oh boy!
Wow. Yeah, it's so funny. I've said this story before, but when they first came out, they really couldn't give them away. They were different sounding than a normal master volume Marshall, and nobody quite knew what to do with them, except Slash.
And then you couldn't find them.
That's right.
Man, I have people offering me money all the time. We did some shows with Buck Cherry and Fozzy, and all of us had the Jubilees, and we're all offering each other money for our heads. It was
That's so funny, man.
That's funny. Yeah, they were. I love those guys. They used to be Buddha guys for a while. Stevie D and Keith. Mm-hmm. They used to be Buddha guys for a while, and now they're getting into all the cool stuff again. The old Marshall stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're sweethearts.
Yeah, they showed the inside of one of the recording studios they were in, and it was like JTM 45s and 59s, and it was like it looked like a Marshall museum. Yeah, and he was like, oh yeah, we just plug in this and we come over here and we do this. Like, good God, who owns all this stuff?
Well, they do.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, they made a couple dollars.
Mm-hmm. So, what's your touring schedule like lately?
Well, right now we have we did a few shows already. We have a show here in Atlanta with Y&T on the 20th, and then we're off to New Jersey, New York, Maryland. We're doing something called a Sleazy Slimy Sunday, which is the day after M3. Right, and then
is that also at Merriweather?
No, it's in it's the same area.
Okay,
it's in Hanover, but it's not at the same venue.
Oh, okay. Huh. Yeah, know the area well. That's kind of where we're from. So.
Yeah.
Is that where you guys are at?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you guys need to come to that then.
I think we do. I think we do. Our friends, do M3 every year. Our boys in Kicks.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I would love Kicks, man.
Yeah. They do M3 every year.
Yeah.
Have been for a while.
We'll be there the day after the Sunday, which is like kind of like an M3 post party.
Mm-hmm. Are you doing M3 as well?
No, we're not. Okay. We're going to be in New Jersey and in Brooklyn on those days.
Okay.
And then we're heading to Wisconsin, and then we're off to Europe. And, so we have a busy schedule, and getting more dates coming.
I'm sure Europe will be fun, and I'm sure you've done it before. But man, the European audiences.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're crazy. The European audiences are crazy.
Yeah, it's rock has never died there, man. They are rabid fans.
It's like I say, man. You just watch it. You watch any video of Airborne playing over in Europe, and it's like 45,000 people showed up for them.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. The cool thing about European audiences, man, is that I think in general they just like music in general. They don't. They're not stuck on the genres like we are here in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one there, Chris. But it's one of the things, I'll give you an example. We were playing in Germany last year, and the two opening bands for us were like death metal bands, and we're like, okay, they're gonna kill us in here, and we're like, it's like, fuck, who the hell booked this shit, And then, and they were getting on to the, death metal shit. And when we went on, the whole fucking place were singing our songs. We were like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, that was weird. So that's when we kind of realized, man, over there, they just like everything,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That had to feel so good too. It's like you hit the stage and people know your stuff and they're singing it to you.
Yeah. That was just amazing, man.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it doesn't get any better, really. It just doesn't get any better.
Mm-hmm. No, it was just amazing, But,
are you? Go ahead.
No, I'm saying but the European audiences are just, I mean, we love audiences everywhere, man. Anybody that's willing to pay to come and see us play, man, whether it's 2 people or 2,000 is just it just amazes us, that they appreciate our stuff, and we're very thankful for it. Now,
how does your writing go? Is it a group effort, or is one main person, or you or somebody else, write the songs? Everything we do is together. Okay. Everything's a group effort. And when I mean everything we do together, I mean everything we do together. No, I'm just kidding. We get in the rehearsal room, and it's just like, if somebody's got a riff or an idea, we just go with it, and it's either going to sound cool or it's not, and we just go from there, and everybody has an input on it, and that's kind of the way we like it. Everybody has own influences that they bring to the table, and it just kind of gives us our sound.
Nice.
So.
Now, I've listened to I've actually watched a couple of your videos, and of course it's, the audio is the actual recording, and right. It sounds like you do very little overdubs.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're not going to 2-inch tape, probably, you're probably going digital, but it sounds very raw, which is kind of cool. I like that.
Our motto is, when we're in the studio, good shot, man. When we're in the studio, we try not to do so much that we can't pull it off live,
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
That's kind of our thing. We don't want to use backing tracks or anything like that. So, we try to write and play it the way we're going to try to play it live. I mean, there's some here and there, but for the most part, it's just,
Yeah. So it's safe to say there's no click going on at your shows.
No. We don't use any clicks live or any backing tracks.
Well, God bless you.
So
that's the way the good Lord intended it.
That's right.
I think
in the studio you use click tracks, obviously.
Sure.
But,
makes editing a little bit easier. But when it comes to live, I often say our good buddy up north, Glenn Fricker, he also says this. It's like the fans deserve better. And if you're out there and you got all this audio running underneath your band, it sometimes is like, really, even a band, and I love these guys, but even a band like Extreme, I've seen those guys, and I'm going, okay, well, there's not 12 guys up there singing, but yet I hear 12 people. And and I hear full keyboards going on, and, oh, hey, there's some horns.
Right.
And you're going, I don't see any horn players.
Right. Yeah, and that's kind of like, some bands do that, and that's their thing. Give me a second. I gotta hit the ball.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
How you doing, guys?
He's on the back nine.
Fantastic, man. How you doing?
Just teeing off on 3.
Who are we speaking with?
It's Chris, isn't it?
Oh,
And he's just missed the ball wicket entirely. Okay. And then he crushes it. All right, I'm handing you back. Hang on.
I got $1 on that one. Look at that. Longest drive, bitch. Oh, I'm not behind you. Huh? Mm-hmm. I'm not behind you unless you're bending down. You bending down?
has your
I wish we were doing FaceTime live.
right? Did your Jack and Coke arrive yet?
No,
Oh,
it didn't. Jack and Coke. I'm about to knock on some people's doors. Excuse me, playing through. Hey, by the way, can I use your pisser and get a Jack and Coke? Can I use your bar?
We've had the only other interview that's been like this was when we interviewed Greg Mara, and he ate an entire pizza at a restaurant.
That was crazy.
While he's doing the interview. Wow.
Totally.
Oh yeah, man, it was cool.
So, Heber, you guys back in the studio anytime soon, or are you in there now, or what's going on?
Yes, we just finished recording our second album under Mighty Music from Denmark.
Ah.
And, so we're just waiting to get mixed and mastered, and hopefully it'll be on in August.
Nice.
This is the windy hole.
Exactly.
You did get me. You did get me. Yeah, you did get me. You just got a lucky roll, man. That's all it is.
So, anything else you want to cover? Endorsements, things like that. Do you are you in for that?
Yeah, we're endorsed by Pig Hog Cables. That's why I said Pig Hog before.
Mm-hmm.
We have an endorsement with Clayton Pigs.
Steve Clayton. Cool.
Yeah. We have an endorsement with Dirtbag Clothing.
Oh.
So still waiting for that Marshall and Les Paul to come around, but I'm not fucking Slash, so I don't know.
Do you go to NAMM or anything, Heber?
Yes, actually, we're going to NAMM in Nashville in what is it, in July?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, Chris is going too.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So we'll be there for a little bit.
I'm undecided whether we're going to exhibit yet or not, but maybe we'll just go down and do the grin and grip.
Hell yeah, man!
So, it'll be fun.
That sounds like is that like a rub and tug?
Well, now that you've in that context,
if you got passes for the rub and tug, I think we're all fine.
I'm not privy to that fun evening
the rub and tug.
Wow. Yeah, never had passes for that one yet. Too funny.
I missed that at the last NAMM.
Yeah, we weren't graced with those passes. I'm sorry. Wow.
Oh shit, that's
well.
funny.
Heber, I feel like we're keeping you from a fun day on the course. So, we shan't do that any longer.
He sliced once and he got outdriven by Chris, so we got to...
Yeah. I think interview's over because I sliced because of you guys and I got outdriven by Chris. Interview is fucking done. No, man.
Well,
it's awesome.
Guys on. Yeah. And, check out all our stuff. You can, find all our cool shit on KickinValentina.com.
Yep.
We're on iTunes. You could order the stuff from our website.
Good.
We have a YouTube page, Facebook page. So Twitter, Instagram,
Yep,
and
all that, by the way, is going to be up on our site underneath the episode, and that will live in
perpetuity.
That's right, and you can find it in the archive. Definitely click on all those links. Like them, follow them. Definitely buy their music, and if you have an Android, can you get it on Amazon? Can you get your music?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
If you do that and you go to our website, click through our Amazon banner, that kicks back a little bit to us, and you'll be able to buy Kickin Valentina's albums, and look at that. Everybody gets love, and you get great music. Good rock and roll, by the way.
Yeah.
Straight ahead
Appreciate
rock.
that, guys.
Not a problem. Man. And if we can make it out to what Sloppy Sunday or whatever that was.
Sleazy Slimy Sunday.
Sleazy Slimy Sunday. There you go. We'll be in touch.
After the rub and tug.
We'll be in touch. We'll be sure to come out and say hi if we can make it out there.
Yeah, man.
That would be great, man.
Cool. All right, Heber, thank you so much, man. Tell Chris we said hi, and go get him back now.
All right, man. Thank you.
And there you have the story.
Man, how about that, huh? We haven't had one.
Straight from the front nine. Straight from the front nine.
That was so cool. We heard the golf cart. You could hear there was a couple times when you could hear the balls being knocked off of the tee.
And I'm assuming it was the front nine because they hadn't seen the cart yet, the cart girl yet, and
the back nine's where all the booze comes in.
The Jack and Coke hadn't taken effect yet.
Yeah.
So, too much fun.
Yeah,
too much fun.
Well, you know what? If you watch their videos and all, that's their lifestyle, man. They just have a good time. It's not, we've had guys as technical as could be, as like a Larry Coryell, who's just a jazz monster, God rest his soul, and all the way to guys like Heber that are just rock and roll dudes. And that is why, what we do here. We're just trying to cover all the bases, man.
Absolutely.
Heber's not in the Shredder magazines, but guess what? That dude is straight in Marshall Les Paul and just having a great time.
Right. And having a successful go at it, and having fun.
Yeah, man.
And, hell, he's out on the golf course, but it's the ultimate rock and roll lifestyle.
Yeah.
Come on, just ask Alice Cooper.
So until next time, my friend.
That's right, because we're going to have more people that get it done. There you go.
You know that. I'm Mick Marcelino.
I'm Jeff Bober.
And we're always saying,
onward.
Be sure and follow the show on Twitter @AmsonAxis. Also, make sure you like the show on Facebook. For news, comments, and everything else, visit the webpage, AmsonAxisCast.com. Thanks for listening.